Imagine a champion with 45% win rate and 33% ban rate. Actually, you don't have to, because we have Mel, and her situation is truly insane. She had been suffering with a low win rate a lot during the past couple of months. However, the nerfs that arrived in patch 26.8 made her giga weak. Currently, her ban rate isn't that terrible, but that's only because she sucks. In other words, she is an absolute dogshit while still being extremely hated. But let's be honest, is it surprising? Obviously not. She is very easy to play, with possibly the most toxic kit in the game, so Riot has no other choice but to keep her weak. However, despite her suboptimal win rate, she is still played relatively quite often, especially into ranged team comps thanks to her completely balanced W. Well then, what now? Riot is obviously struggling to balance her, and no champion has ever been hated so much to receive the Austrian painter's name as a nickname. The worst thing is, if Riot doesn't keep her win rate below 46%, her ban rate will simply stay high. The subreddit dedicated to her mains is stating that she is unplayable, but the players' hate towards her doesn't seem to be going anywhere at all. So, what the fuck went wrong? Or maybe the better question is, what didn't go wrong, and is there a chance to save her? Because when we take a look into her kit, we can see that everything is completely fucked. Okay, but honestly, this is not something that can be fixed via a number change. Mel really requires a lot of reworking. I would start with completely removing her root and just keep the slow. There's no reason for a champion with an ability such as her W to root the enemies. Because why should a ranged champion that already has a very strong defensive spell be able to immobilize you? Next, her beautiful ultimate has no reason to be, well, just press and deal damage. It simplifies her kit absolutely for no reason. This combined with her passive is also one of the reasons why she is so toxic to play against. Alrighty then, but what should the ultimate actually be? Well, I have no idea. That would be up to Riot to design something that makes sense. And lastly, the main problem of the whole kit. Her W. Look, I think it's cool to have a spell that allows spell reflection, but in my opinion, if the reflected spell is a skill shot, then as the skill shot it should stay, meaning that you should actually aim the reflected spell. However, this could add another problem. Mel would be allowed to hit completely unpredictable spells and make her more toxic to a certain extent. I would solve this by giving her a limited angle of reflection based on the direction from which the spell arrived. This way you would actually have to aim the skill shot while not making it too flexible or unpredictable. Anyway, how about you? Do you think Mel is really that problematic and needs a proper rework, or should she just stay the way she is? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you later. Maybe